So yesterday you were told to send your homework on either my WhatsApp or group WhatsApp. Only one has sent, Pushkar, and no other. This shows your seriousness, how much serious you are in study. Every day same thing. Yesterday also I reminded you send your homework. Day before yesterday I gave you homework. No response. You all have got the time to send the what useless messages. In one day, 100, 1000 messages coming in this class 10 group. And useful work, that is 0. Yes, did you solve the problems given in your book? No response.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How many of you have solved?
Sir, sir.
Who are you? Name?
Priyansu.
Priyansu. You are it?
I have solved.
Yes, sir. I have also solved.
And why didn't you send your homework? What was given?
Homework, sir. I did not listen yesterday. My internet problem was there. I left.
That is the best excuse.
World best.
I did not attend the class yesterday.
So today we are going to start calorimetry. So as we have already discussed yesterday, calorimetry is the branch of physics in which we discuss about the measurement of heat. How much heat is transferred from one object to other object that we can measure. And the branch in which we discuss about this measurement, that branch we call calorimetry. So what is heat? What is temperature? So heat and temperature difference we are doing from class 7, 8 only. In class 7 also you might have done. Again after that 9 you have done. So what is heat? How we define heat? Heat is a form of energy that gives us sensation of hotness or coldness. It is a form of energy. That gives us sensation of hotness or coldness. Whereas temperature is what? Is the degree. How much hot or how much cold the object is, that we are knowing by knowing the temperature. See, 10A student, 905 messages are also already there. Per hour, 300 messages coming from class 10A students. Useless group. Okay, so it is the form of energy that gives us sensation of hotness, whereas this one is degree of hotness or coldness of any object. So when we lose heat, we have got the sensation of coldness. When we gain heat, when we touch any, suppose we put up water in hot, we put our hand in hot water, the sensation of hotness is coming. Why is it so? Because we are gaining heat. Hot water is losing heat and we are gaining heat. When you are touching the ice, the sensation of coldness is coming. In that case, you are losing heat. So loss of heat gives the sensation of coldness. Gain of heat gives the sensation of hotness. How much hot, how much cold, that is given by the temperature. Another difference is, so it is the sum total of kinetic energy and sum total of mechanical energy, you can say. Okay, kinetic and potential only. But pressure will not be, pressure energy will not affect. So if we calculate the total mechanical energy of all the molecules, in case of solid, potential energy is not negligible. But in case of gas, potential energy become negligible. Most of the mechanical energy is kinetic energy only. Because gas is widely apart, far apart, and they are free to move. That means no force of attraction between the molecules or negligible force of attraction between molecules there. That's why in some cases the definition is given, it is the sum of kinetic energy of all the molecules. But it should be actually both. In case of solid, potential energy can't be neglected. But in case of gas, we can neglect it. Whereas this is average kinetic energy of all the molecules. Again, 10A. I don't know what they are studying or they are passing, means simply sending message only. They are all busy. And you are also doing the same thing. Huh?
No, sir.
It is going on here on WhatsApp, it is busy.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So this gives the idea how much total energy the object is having. Whereas this temperature will depend on only kinetic energy. If kinetic energy is more, average kinetic energy more, that means temperature is more. So temperature will depend only on kinetic energy, whereas heat will depend on both kinetic energy as well as potential energy. Third difference can be unit. So its SI unit is Joule. As it is energy, whereas its SI unit Kelvin.
Kelvin.
Thermal is heat. So calorimeter, this heat is measured by calorimeter. We require a device, whereas temperature is measured by thermometer. With the help of calorimeter, whereas it is measured by thermometer. So these are the four main difference. So if you are asked to give the difference, then these all points you can give. Don't give heat is a cause, this temperature is a reason. So that type of difference you don't give. So this gives the idea what is the heat and what is temperature. From lower class we are also doing. Now here we will discuss the unit of heat and after that calorimeter and some physical quantity like heat capacity. So units of heat. So its SI unit is joule. But generally we express heat in calorie. CGS unit what will be? Arg only. Don't write calorie is a CGS unit. Calorie is not CGS unit. Calorie is a special unit in which heat is expressed. So that we keep in the category of other units. Other units are calorie, kilocalorie. Okay. One more was there, British thermal unit, but now we are not using, so we will not learn that one. Kilocalorie is the multiple of calorie only. How we define calorie? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of pure water from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. Temperature of 1 gram pure water. Sorry. Temperature of 1 gram pure water. So it is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram pure water from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. Or just common definition is temperature of 1 gram pure water by 1 degree Celsius. That is a very common one. But when we increase the temperature of water from 0 to 1 degree or 80 to 81 degree or 99 to 100 degree, there is slight difference in the amount of heat. So when we find the average of the all, that average comes same as this one, 14.5 to 15.5. So it is this particular value is mentioned in the definition. That is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram pure water from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees. Now this 1 calorie become 4.18 46 or 64. So we are using frequently 1 calorie will be 4.22. 46 or 64, I'm confused maybe. So frequently we are using this one. So 1 calorie become 4.20. Now similar definition will be of kilocalorie. So 1 kilocalorie means you have to increase the temperature of 1 kg pure water from 14.5 to 15.5 cent. So this 1 kilocalorie means 1000 calorie, which is 4200 joule. So that means this calorie is bigger unit in comparison to joule. 1 calorie means 4.2 joule. So calorie is larger than joule. Kilocalorie much more than joule. It is 4200 joule nearly. So calorie and kilocalorie are larger unit. Now, when we give heat to any substance, what are the effects produced by it? What effect can be produced by heat? And we already discussed in class 8. So one will be the change in temperature of the object. Other may be change in state. Third, it may produce some chemical change. Fourth, it may accelerate or deaccelerate the chemical reaction. So mainly we have to discuss the first two factors. change of temperature and change of state that we are going to discuss in this chapter, calorimetry here. Chemical change or rate of reaction that we have done in chemistry. So here we are going to discuss mainly the first two, that is change of temperature and change of state. One by one. Now, when there is change of state or change of temperature, so how much heat will be required? Amount of heat required, how much we have to give in order to increase the temperature, or what are the factors on which amount of heat depend? So factors on which amount of heat during change of temperature. So there
Sir,
are
can you
many
read out what you have?
factors on which amount of heat during change of temperature depend. So when there is change of temperature of the substance, what are the factors on which the amount of heat will depend? If we heat 1 kg water or 1 kg sand, same amount of heat is not required. Though mass is same, but nature is different. That means it depends on nature also. If you heat 1 kg water or 10 kg water, amount of heat required will not be same. If you increase the temperature of water by 5 degree, or you increase the temperature of same water by 100 degree, amount of heat will be different. So these are the three factors on which amount of heat depends. So first is mass of substance. Second is rise in temperature or change in temperature. So these are the three things on which amount of heat will depend. How much heat we have to give, that will depend on these three things. First will be mass of substance. Second is the change in temperature, whether we are increasing temperature by 5 degree or 10 degree. Nature of material, whether this object is made up of wood, whether object is made up of iron, or whether it is silver, whatever the material is used, or the material of the object. It will depend on these three things. Now we will define two physical quantities. One we call the heat capacity or thermal capacity. Heat capacity or thermal capacity. Heat means thermal. So heat capacity or thermal capacity. So heat capacity of any substance or any object is the amount of heat required. To raise its temperature by 1 Kelvin or by 1 degree Celsius. And the change in temperature has got same value in Kelvin or in Celsius. No, when you are changing the temperature of water from 0 degree Celsius to 5 degree Celsius, what will be the corresponding change in Kelvin? So 273 Kelvin to 278 Kelvin. Temperature will be different. Here 0 degree means here 273 K. Here 5 degree means here 278 Kelvin. But the difference in temperature, that will be same. Here also the rise in temperature is by 5 degree. Here also rise in temperature is 5 Kelvin. So that's why when we are talking about change in temperature, then it will be same in Kelvin or in Celsius. In FPS it will not be, Fahrenheit it will not be same. In class 7 or in class 8 we have done. So here if there is change of temperature by 1 Celsius degree, 1 Kelvin, and it will be 1.8 Fahrenheit degree. That is when temperature changes by 1 degree Celsius in Celsius scale, corresponding change in Kelvin will be same 1, but Fahrenheit it will be 1.8. It's different. So that's why here required to raise the temperature by 1 Kelvin or by 1 degree Celsius. Both will be same. Now suppose to raise the temperature of the object by theta degree Celsius, amount of heat required is Q. To raise the temperature of the object, suppose by 10 degree or by 5 degree or by 8 degree, amount of heat required is 10 joule or 50 joule or 60 joule, whatever it is.
Sir, mass will not be given.
Then, yes?
Sir, mass will not be given then.
No, here mass will not be required. Here it is the object. Object may be this duster only. What is the heat capacity of this duster? So mass is not important. This heat capacity will be of this object. So what is the heat capacity of this box? Maybe how much heat is required to increase the temperature of this particular box by 1 degree. So here heat capacity of different object will be different. Heat capacity of 5 kg water and kg water different. Heat capacity of 5 kg water means whatever heat is required to increase the temperature of 5 kg water by 1 degree. So it is to raise the temperature of object by theta degree, suppose amount of heat required is Q. Therefore, to raise the temperature of the object by 1 degree Celsius, amount of heat required will be how much? will become Q over theta. And according to definition, this is the heat capacity. So the heat capacity will be amount of heat whether it is lost or gained, whatever it is Q by change in temperature. Theta. Or in some cases you will find delta theta, meaning it's same, whatever the change is there. So generally we represent change by delta, small change by delta. So you may find the symbol delta theta. So generally we give the symbol C. So this C will be Q over delta theta or theta, whatever you may say. What does it mean? This Q will become C into delta theta. Delta theta means change in temperature. So if heat capacity of any object is given and rising temperature is known, then we can find the value of heat required. How much heat will be required for such change, that we can find by this formula only. Now, what will be the unit of this heat capacity? SI unit of heat capacity. Q by delta theta. Q means what? SI unit will be joule. Change in temperature, degree Celsius or Kelvin, because both are having same value. Change in temperature in Kelvin or change in temperature in degree Celsius will have same value. So it may be joule per Kelvin or joule per degree Celsius. It can be written like this: joule JK minus 1 or joule degree Celsius minus 1. Now, other units. Calorie per degree Celsius, kilocalorie per degree Celsius, maybe like this. Now, what is the relation between these two? So, 1 calorie per degree Celsius will become 4200 per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. As here it is changing temperature, so degree Celsius or Kelvin will become same. Sorry, calorie will be 4.2. So 1 calorie 4.2 joule. So 1 calorie per degree Celsius will be 4.2 joule per Kelvin. Now, what are the factors?
Sir,
Yes.
if we write one calorie per degree C in joule degree C, then what we will write?
So joule degree Celsius same 4.2 only
4.2 joule by degree C.
per degree Celsius.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Your value of Kelvin and degree Celsius are same in change in temperature. When we discuss change in temperature. Now the factors on which heat capacity depend. We have defined heat capacity as amount of heat required to increase its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So indirectly it is depending on the amount of heat, and amount of heat depend on these three things: mass of substance, change in temperature, nature of material. Now out of these three, this one is fixed. Change in temperature is 1 degree Celsius only. So it is not variable. Okay. Definition we have taken amount of heat required to increase its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So change in temperature cannot be a factor. Naturally, the remaining two will be the factor on which it will depend. So first will be the mass of object, and second will be nature of material of the object. So this heat capacity will be directly proportional to mass. If you increase the mass, heat capacity will also increase. So 1 kg water or 5 kg water, heat capacity of 5 kg water will be more than that of 1 kg water. So these are the two factors. Now, it is very difficult to learn the heat capacity of different objects. In case of water only, okay, 1 gram water different, 1 milligram water different, 10 kg water different, 1 quintal water different. So that's why it will be very difficult to learn. So we define one more physical quantity which depend only on nature, not on the mass. And it is very easy to learn that value. Okay, it will depend only on nature. That is, what is the value of water, what is the value of wood. So that particular physical quantity we call specific heat capacity. Some cases we use the symbol S. In some case, some book you will find C also. If this is C, that will be C dash. Or if that one is C, here will be C dash. So different symbols are used in different books. We follow this S only.
Sir,
So specific heat capacity S.
sir, this depends on mass.
Which one?
Specific heat capacity.
It depends only on nature. For that only we are defining this, so that it may not depend on mass. So it is defined as, so specific heat capacity of any substance is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass by 1 degree Celsius or by 1 Kelvin. So your mass is also fixed, unit mass. So that factor is removed. Now, 1 gram water or 10 quintal water, this physical quantity will be same because it does not depend on the mass. We have to consider unit mass only. So this is specific heat capacity this is heat capacity of unit mass. So it will become heat capacity by mass. So heat capacity per unit mass is the specific heat capacity. So this S will be C over M. And as we know, this C is what? Q over delta theta, M delta theta. So this is the general relation. Half part of the calorimetry, only one formula, this one. In calorimetry, only two formulas are there. One is this one. One more when we will discuss change of state that will come. So only two formulas, but so many numericals are asked. So specific heat capacity is heat capacity per unit mass, or it is amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass by 1 degree Celsius. So amount of heat by mass and change in temperature. So what will be the unit?
Joule per kg.
Heat capacity depends only on this one, nature, because mass is also unit, that is fixed. Change in temperature is unit, so it is fixed. So it's
Joule
specific
per
heat
Kelvin
capacity
kg.
depends only on nature of material. Of the object or substance, whatever you say. So specific capacity of water, fixed. Specific capacity of iron, fixed. So it depends only on material. It does not depend on the mass. It does not depend on the rise in temperature. So this physical quantity is very important. So in the tabular form in your book, you will find this much only. So if we learn this one, or if you know this one, we have not to learn. We have to find only the one value, that is of water only. Rest everything will be given the numerical. Now, what is the unit? So its SI unit is joule per kg per degree Celsius. Joule per kg per Kelvin or joule per kg per degree Celsius. Because Kelvin and Celsius are same when there is change in temperature.